Hello guys, and welcome to a special tropical update here for June 28th, 2020. And this update is going to be mostly about the Atlantic portion of the tropics here. As I went to bed last night, this was not here, but when I wake up, now we got two disturbances on board. Alright, this is disturbance number 1, or what they're dubbing Invest 96L. It has a 10% chance of development in the next 2 days and low chance of 10% 5 days. This is a tropical wave located several hundred miles west-southwest of the Cabo Verde Islands. It is moving west-northwest at 15 to 20 miles per hour. Some slow development of this system is possible during the next 2 to 3 days. After that time, environmental conditions will become less conducive for development. We're just gonna have to wait and see what happens within these next 2 or 3 days. But if it stays farther south, then it might have more of a chance of developing into something very small, something. But if it continues on this west-northwest to northwest trend, then it's gonna go right into that Sierra and air layer that is gonna impede any development of this system. So there's that. This is disturbance number 2. It has a 0% chance in the next 48 hours and a 20% in the next 5 days. This is a low pressure area that is expected to form in a few days off the southeastern coast of the United States. Some additional development of this system could then occur as it moves generally northeastward. So there's a 20% chance in the next 5 days and 0% in the next 2 days. Alright. Here's what Invest 96L looks like, and as you can see right from here, it looks like a hot mess right now. That's because the sail and the dry air is impeding on this procedure here of this trying to become anything. The maximum sustained winds right now are at 20 knots or 25 miles per hour. Minimal pressure is 1,009 millibars. Environmental pressure is 1,011 millibars. Radius of circulation is 120 nautical miles. Radius of maximum winds is 90 nautical miles. And here you can see where this thing is heading. I think maybe once it gets north of the sail, if it makes it that long, it might have a chance of redevelopment, at least according to one of these models. Yeah, one of these models has this re-strengthening into something. So maybe this is something we need to watch out for later on. It'll be, a fish storm, just like the other disturbance that is going to be forming out here in a few days. So one of these models do have a chance of this reforming into something down the road in the next 4 days, maybe. And let's take a look at the guidance intensity here. As you can see, most of these don't, well, a lot of the models aren't on here yet, but these outliers here doesn't take it much into anything. The LGIM, the IVCM, the DSHP, nothing. So we're just gonna have to wait and see what when more of the models come in, what they say about what this is gonna do here. Here is the infrared satellite, and as you can see, look at this blob right here. This went into the Sierra and air layer because that whole blob just dissipated within a heartbeat of going into the Sierra and air layer. If you look close enough, you could see the broad rotation in the storm, but you have to have a really keen eye because this is so poorly organized you can't really tell. Yeah, it's just, like I said, it's just looking like a hot mess right now. So we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens here with this. Here is the GFS for today. This is initialized at 06Z and valid at 12Z today. And there's our system right there. You can tell where it is because you got bending of the isotherms, and you got the heavy convection in some places. So let's go out through time. Yeah, here's 60 hours, and you can tell where it's at. It's right in here. That's about a halfway closed isotherm, or if that even makes sense, it's halfway to what it should be. But after that time, it's pretty much too late because of the air and air layer that's going to be impeding on it. And this is 120 hours out, which is 5 days. And as you can see, the GFS isn't really picking up on that East Coast storm, which is pretty amazing. We're going to see what the European has to say here in just a second. But as you can see, nothing else is really going to impede on us here in the next 5 days as it comes to the tropics. Alright, here's the European, and this is going to paint a different picture than the GFS, obviously, when it comes to the East Coast storm. But there is Invest 96L right in there. So let's take this out through time now, too. And as you can see, it has a closed circulation, it looks like, because the isobar is closed. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see if the European is right on this. And here's 3 days out, and there is our East Coast storm right there. This may become Edouard in short order here in the next like 3 or 4 days, because as you can see, that's really booking it right there. You can tell by the cyclonic vorticity that there's plenty of spin in this system here. Plenty of it. And this is going to generally go to the northeast because, you know, this is the high pressure right here. And usually what it does is it usually circles around the high pressure. And then, you know, it's just pretty much a chutes and ladders kind of game where you have to wait for troughs, and it hits another high pressure, goes around that, wait for another trough. You know, it's an endless cycle for these weather systems to you know, get pushed around by these highs and troughs. But yes, this is our East Coast storm here, 96 hours, about 5 days out. And yeah, that's pretty potent. This would, I mean, this far north, this would definitely be a subtropical storm right here. So we got an interesting couple of days here in the Atlantic, because as you guys know, the Kelvin wave is coming through. So when the Kelvin waves come through, that's when the conditions start to become favorable. But how long this Sierra and air layer is going to stick around, we don't know yet. We're just going to have to wait and see. Anyways, I want to thank you guys for watching. I will have an update on the Eastern Pacific later on today. Have a nice day.